Good evening and welcome back to Football Manager 2024 and the London Green Save. We are back with Season 11, guys. Season 11. Here we go. Now, today's episode is episode 1. It's not episode 0. Last season, I did a kind of Season 10 episode 0 where I just talked about everything I was changing at the club, how I was playing the game, and everything I wanted to do better. Now, of course, all of that is still true. Therefore, I don't believe I need to do Season 11, Episode 0. Instead, we will be going straight into the match. Well, there will be a little bit of chat, not a lot, but a little bit of chat before we go into the match. And that will be to kind of update you on everything I've done in the meantime, between seasons, as I've tried to work things out a little bit for the club. So, the club is more or less at a fresh start. I decided this because this is my club. I created this club. And we're at a point now where I've played so many seasons and I'm learning the game. And I've learned a lot of the game. You know, I would say for 5 or 6 seasons, I was just throwing stuff at the wall and trying to see what would work. That is different now. Season 10 went a lot better than Season 9 and Season 8. I will show you what I mean by that by showing you the overview of the competition. So, of course, we'll go from the very beginning. Early doors, we started at the very bottom of the pyramid that I could load at the time. Because I do believe the database now that has been made or, modded in goes even lower than level 14. But we started at level 14 and we won. First season, first position. Absolutely bonkers. Only lost 3 games against Bishop Stortford Swiss reserves, Takeley United under 21s. Takeley under 21s. And who else did we lose to? Hull Bridge under 21s. So you can see it's mostly reserve teams and under 21s. And we won that season. Then, of course, the next season. Oh, no, that's the same division. We want to go here. We won again. We only lost 2 games. And again, we're mostly playing reserves. But look at that. There's Acton. That is crazy. Because that is a team that we have got to face this season. They got relegated in Season 2 for us, which is absolutely bonkers. And then we finished 3rd in the East Sussex League Premier Division. We finished 3rd, playing against a lot of teams that we played many, many times in that time period. We didn't draw a lot of games, but we lost quite a few games by 1 goal. You can see how many games in there we lost by just the 1 goal. That was a good and a tough season for us. Then the next season we did one better. We went into 2nd position. And again, we played much better, but we just couldn't chase down AFC Ewell at the very end of the season. In fact, we did get a draw against them. Where is it? Sorry. So there's the loss. Did we get a win against them? I feel like we must have done. But I can't see it on there. We must have got a win against them. We did. Look at that. 7-5. That is bonkers. What the heck? But then it was the next season where we did really, really well. Even though we lost a couple more games, we went up. And since then, we had a 3rd place, a 8th place, a 12th, a 13th, and then a 6th place in the same division. We have been in the same division for a lot of seasons. But this is this the season? Look at that, there is Acton. It's actually kind of crazy. Look at that, they got relegated in that season. We were in that division with them. But then they win the next one. Only 18s in that one. That's not a lot. They went up, promoted, not even as champions. That's bonkers. But then they were promoted again. With the All-Stars, another team that we've played, and the Kensington Dragons Reserves, and Long Lane, who are another team that we are literally going to be playing against in this season. It's absolutely bonkers. The amount of teams that are bouncing up and down is quite crazy. But we continue on. This is our season. I hope it is. I really do. We've got our first game against Phoenix Sports, but before we go into it, there's still a bit of chat. Like I said, we've got a bit of chat. And I'll show you the schedule, the pre-season that I have run so far. We've played 1 testimonial and then 7 friendly matches against a couple of the teams that we will play as the season presses on. For example, there's a game against Elmstead that we won with an early goal and a late goal. which is really, really good to know that we got that win. We lost to New Romney, even though they had a man sent off, and it was only 1-0, and then we lost to Lewisham Borough. Same, only 1-0. But in general, I would say we've had a good pre-season. We've learned the tactic a little bit better, and we're going into this first game against Phoenix. I'm feeling pretty good. Now, this season will be a little bit different than last season, where I do believe I'll probably end up doing only the one game per episode. But to go along with that, I will probably be uploading this season one game, one episode per day. So the season will absolutely fly by. It'll be one game per episode, and hopefully that'll make me feel like I'm more engaged with the game. I can really focus on that one game if I'm doing one game per episode. And on top of that, you as the viewer can really connect with what I'm doing, try and see what I'm doing. And if you have any opinions, throw them out there. Constructive opinions I would ask for, because I've had some comments which are just like, you're bad at the game. And I'm like, I'm fully aware I'm not the best at the game. I am trying to learn, and every season I play, I am learning. So constructive comments, like I've had a few really helpful comments, and they are awesome. So I thank every single person who decides to drop a comment. That is, I appreciate you. Basically, I appreciate you. That is all I can say. And keep doing it. Keep doing it as much as you want. Now, we've got a pretty hectic start to the season. We've got 7 games in a row before we have a break. And in those breaks, I've organised friendlies. Now, in those friendly weeks, I will not be playing the first team. I'll save the first team and try and rest them up. But I do want to make sure that the team is still playing matches and learning tactics and trying to keep things going on a good kind of, week in, week out kind of basis. You can see there's actually a whole period there where there's no friendlies because we're playing so many matches. We are playing 32 matches, so it's quite a few. Now, tactically, let me show you what I have got. So we've got 3 plans, just like last season. In fact, last season we ended up adding plans as we go along. That will probably happen this season, but I've decided to go a little bit simpler. Rather than going positive, balanced, attacking, defensive, blah, 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 all of those, we are basically starting with 3 separate tactics, which you can see are named possession, high press, and then counter-attack. And they are basically the 3 ways I want to play the game. So controlling possession is my plan A, because that's what I want to do the most. I want to make sure we have the ball, we're building attacks, we're breaking down defenses, and ultimately I want us to be scoring goals. But sometimes with this game, you have a bit of, you have a lot of possession, but you don't do a lot with it. And that's kind of the line we are kind of walking. It's a bit of a tightrope where we can either say, let's go direct and try and attack, and you'll probably get more chances. Or you kind of say, no, let's hold the ball a bit, keep possession, try and work on a chance, but then inevitably you might not get those chances if your players aren't, the best players for that kind of tactic. So that's why possession is plan A. Plan B is a high press. So if we come up against a team that wants to control possession, we can either control possession ourselves, or we can hit them with the high press and try and make them play through us. The high press is only slightly different in that we play a little bit more direct, not a lot, just a little bit more direct than here. You can see we still play quite high up the pitch, and we try and play with a little bit more tempo in general. Now you can see on plan A, I've actually got the individual roles and instructions sorted out. I've already done that because this is going into game 1. On the other 2, I haven't quite done that yet. But when we come against teams that we think we need to hit with these tactics, for example, plan C is probably when a team comes up against us on a high press, or if we're playing in a game where we've gone with possession, but we're losing possession, we will swap to the counter-attack or swap to the high press and see if they can work to try and give us chances. We can't be playing in just one way. Even though I want to control possession in every game, it's not really realistic. So if we do come up against a team that is doing better than us at that particular thing, keeping possession, generating chances, we will drop the lines, we will go into a counter-attack, or if they're holding the ball a lot in their midfield or in their defensive line, we'll press them, we'll throw numbers at them, and we'll try and win the ball back in dangerous areas and then try and score goals. So that is the ultimate idea. The idea of this season is we're going to get promoted. We're going to go through, as champions, get promoted up a level. We're going to do it with style. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the squad planner. Now, I have not used the squad planner all that much throughout the seasons, mostly because I tend to do this stuff on my own. I have a spreadsheet, the matrix I call it. It's got a matrix, a depth chart. Trying to say that word while speaking fast is difficult. And it's got all the stats for the roles that I think are important for our players. But I've decided to use the FM1 so that I can show you guys a little bit more. Now you can see these are the depth charts at the minute. See, we've got good depth in fullbacks, pretty good in the mid. In fact, very good in the midfield. 4 and 4 and 5 with very little crossover. There are mostly players in separate positions here who I've kind of said, okay, you're more of a DM. I'm not going to play you at cam, so we'll keep you at DM. For example, last season, I think Muanda, Howard, Olafsson, Alex Tuckey, they played in so many different kind of defensive midfield positions or midfield positions that I ended up not really knowing who was best at what. So what I've done is I've gone into the stats and I've found out exactly what I want. So I've got different views, basically. I've got contract, morale, and form. This is this whole screen, which I've had for a while. Then I've got individual positional views. For example, okay, I want to look at the wingers, who I think are the best wingers. I can filter it, of course, with attacking midfielders and that, and then blah, blah, blah. And now, okay, we're just looking at the left-hand side, and these are the players I've got to look at. Okay, so if I need to, Howard and Holloway could drop into there, so could Adam Curran, but Charlie Embleton, Rodrigondo, they are my main two. So if I show you, I just quickly click all of this back and then go back to the selection details screen and then onto the squad planner, show you that's what I've got over here. I've got Charlie Embleton, I've got Rodrigondo. They are the first and second choice with the on the left wing. And that's how I've worked it out. I've really tried to think ahead and work it out how we're going to go through this season. We've got to be careful. We've got to try and make sure we don't hit any form of mid-season slump. And we're just going to try and play our best football all the way through the year. Now, let me show you the selection details screen. This is going to be an absolutely important screen. I really think it is. So I've got, of course, the squad, the names, their current information, got the positions, and then I've got their current contract details. For example, we have got some players down here. We are paying a lot of money when they inevitably play. Tom Matthews, it says he's not paying anything. That's because he's on a youth contract. So he's on a youth contract of a specific amount. That won't actually change. But you can see, so for example, why I've done this is clean sheet bonuses are pretty standard all across the board, but the unused sub bonus is crazy for Tyrese Ruddock, for example. So basically, we can't use Tyrese Ruddock as a sub because if we do, and we don't bring him on, we're paying him a chunk of money to do nothing, to sit on the bench. So he is our starting striker. Now, he is our starting striker anyway over Daniel Woods. So when we rotate, Ruddock won't be able to sit on the bench unless we know he's coming on. Unless we know for a fact he's coming on, we'll just drop him to the reserves. He won't play in that game, and we'll rotate like that. It'll be another way of rotating by keeping an eye on the finances and stuff like that. We're actually okay because, like I say, I've done a bit of a reset. I've worked it out. We're resetting. We're not earning a crazy amount because staff wages are high, because I've actually gone and hired a load of staff in the positions that we need in an effort to try and increase our scouting, increase our coaching, increase everything. And I mean that. Everything. I've got individual focuses on all of the players as I try and improve individual stats across the board. And now here we've got the training performance rating, or if they're going all the way up, you can see people with a green performing very well, orange, yellow performing okay. Got Rodrigondo down there on a green, which is awesome. We've got the training rating. And this will influence how I pick, who I pick, and stuff like that. And as we go across the board, I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. For example, anyone on concerned, we've got to get them into play. We're going to try and get rid of that. We do not want anyone's morale dropping. Anyone who's on low morale, I mean, look at that. He's on quite good morale there. I don't really like that. I actually want him to be much happier than that. Oh, see, look at that. Quite good is not really what we're after. We want a little bit more. I need to, what, were you not? Okay, it doesn't want to let me do that. That's fine. Let me reload the screen. There we go. Okay, cool. I want to see the morale numbers. I want to see, what the heck? I want to see everything. You see, everyone's on a green. That's good. On a yellow, not so good, you know. I want a bit more. But everyone is satisfied except for Tyrese Ruddock. So we've got to try and improve that one. I'm not sure why the average rate. There we go. That's fixed it. Cool, cool, cool. In fact, has it? Yeah, has it? I don't even know if it has fixed it. I'm trying to get this. What are you doing? Try this again. I'm going to drag it. Oh, okay. It's moving the defend. It's moving that thing. I do not know what has happened. Like, it just changed my view. I didn't even do anything about it. Anyway, never mind. Moving on. Now, we're going to keep an eye on the match load as well. Because in general, the match load is, again, something that we can look in with the condition screen here. We hover over, you can see the match load. He's played 180 minutes in the last 14 days. They are friendly minutes, of course. They are friendly minutes, but it's something we're going to look at. And then this screen here is the important, this section of the screen here is the important one. So it's minutes per game, how many minutes they're really getting every time I play them. And it's their total minutes. And then it's the team contributions and the average rating. So no more chat from me. That's all I'm gonna throw at you today. If you want to take a look at the tactics here, this is what we're starting with. You can pause it, have a look at the individual things that we're doing, have a look at down here, everything we got over there. But this is the team we're going to start with. This is more or less my first team, deliberately picked for particular reasons. For example, Ruddock is the striker over Daniel Woods because I think he's going to be better at putting the ball in the back of the net. That's going to be a huge thing. Now, one last thing I will say, the very, very, very last thing I will say, is that I did a huge kind of purge of the squad based on the determination and the teamwork stats. Now, was that the best idea? I don't fully know. There's a lot of players who I got rid of between seasons because I was thinking basically they're not working hard enough for the team. They're not working hard enough in themselves. So I got rid of them. Quite a few. Ben Scott, Spanudakis, our freaking strikers last season. I can't even remember his name. Bennett. You know, I got rid of players who I'm saying you're not working hard enough for the team. So now we have got no one here below a 6 on determination or teamwork because it's non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. And when you've got players who have both, like these guys, oh, it's next level. It's next level stuff. Now, a lot of them actually aren't in the squad right now because their other stats aren't so great for the starting lineup. But the idea is, it wants me to lower the tempo. The tempo is not even that low anyway. That's a bit of an odd one. Okay, we're going to have to get used to introducing the individual instructions. That's fine. I have to throw them in more or less every time. But this is the team we're going to have today. Sinfield in goal. Flint and Calthoba, not quite sure. New signing. Sinfield is also a new signing. Steven Sinfield. We've got Thomas Peter Calthoba, nice. We've got Aaron Carlisle and Matthew Lovett. They actually are centre-backs for most of last season, so that's a little bit of continuity. We've got Alfie Cutbush in DM. Very good young player in the real world. Doing his thing. He's come to London Greens on the FM save. We've got Ersen Mwanda, Joachim Klafis, Ersen Mwanda in the midfield, running as a box-to-box midfielder because his stamina is out of the world. Look at that, and look at these mental stats, just absolutely brilliant. So potentially I was playing Mwanda in the wrong position last season. You know, maybe DM wasn't his one. Cutbush is in there for his nice first touch stat of 7. Very, very good for us. Then we've got a front 4 wingers of Embleton and Kovenka. A new signing, Martin Kovenka. Cutbush as well, new signing. Curran, new signing. In Cam, playing as a playmaker. And up top, Tyrese Ruddock, who hasn't played that many times for us. He's only played 4 times with an average rating of 7.2. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. Look at that. His average rating of 7.1 overall is very good. I've got to say, it's very good. Anything 7 plus, very, very good stuff. So, that is what we're going with for this first team. First match, the benches, Johansson, Brathwaite, Howard, Olafsson, and Woods. And you could see that Howard and Olafsson, more or less, they cover the same positions. But Howard also covers the wings, which is why he's in there as well. Brathwaite covers the back line. Olafsson covers the middle of the park. And then you've got Woods in at striker as well. That is the team, guys. No more chatting. No more worrying. In we go. It's the first game. And like I said, I'm going to take a little bit more time with each game. We're going to put the comp highlights on. And we're going to have a good game. Now, we've got to add that for Dylan Dobson. That is the first. It's the first game, guys. First game. It's always exciting. We're going into a new season. It's exciting. I'm excited now. I need to make sure I put the comp highlights on straight away. Because obviously, in the friendlies, we were just running regular speed. And here we go. We're going to have the... we're going to have the 2D Classic on because I can never see the ball on the regular. And when we score goals, if we score goals... In fact, let's start with the director and we'll see how it goes. We're on the comp highlights just to see how we are going. Now, the tactical shape of our team is actually quite narrow. We're playing quite narrow. We're going to try and keep everyone together, locked in, doing well. Not very many highlights to start this game off. You can see that we're almost 10 minutes in and there's been nothing going our way. But look at the possession stat. Did you see that, guys? It was at 90. Ruddock to the back post. Cervenka nods it just over the bar. Kovenka, I don't actually know. I'm going to say Kovenka. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what I'm going to say. So at least I'm consistent. Carlisle with the shot. He hits it over. But that is now 2 shots. Very early doors here. The possession is just all the way with us. Now Ruddock on the right-hand side whips it towards Kovenka, and he has just missed it. Now this is the kind of start we were after for a new season. Look at all the other games. There's goals left and right. In our game, not just yet. Curran whips it to the back post. Lindsay knocks it out for a corner. And this has been a very, very good start. I'll have to check where we are playing kind of on the analysis. We are so high. Look at, oh, wow. Levi Flint, you are very high on the line right now. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us. I would be quite annoyed if it did. Kovenka's getting back. He's getting chased. But he is going to win that ball and just send it back inside safely. Momentum is all with us right now. It really is. This has been an absolute brilliant start. Like I say, this team that I believe I've put together over the course of the summer, over you know, it's not even really that changed. You know, we've brought in maybe 4 or 5 first teamers and then added a kind of a bit of depth around the team. I remember saying in last episodes, that I want to try... Oh, go on, Curran! Oh, no, it's offside. Okay. I want to try and create more or less 2 first teams that are interchangeable with players that can go in and out and basically work on making sure that we don't hit any fatigue. We can compete with every team that comes up against us because the scheduling is all over the place. You know, there's enough weeks in this season but we shouldn't have to be playing, you know, a game of the weekend, a game in that midweek, and then another game at the weekend. That shouldn't have to happen. But of course it does. And there's not really anything we can do about it. Now, Curran, up the right-hand side. So far, I'm loving everything I'm seeing. We're playing very well. Kovenka out wide, trying to find Embleton. Lindsay will knock that one behind. It will go out for a corner. And we're playing very, very well so far. We're getting the ball high up the pitch. We're controlling possession beyond belief. We are controlling possession. We're getting corners, we're getting set pieces, you know, free kicks. And Ruddock heads that one just over. But to be fair, it is Ruddock that we want on the end of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the set pieces. I'm going to take control. Oh, I can't. Look at that. I can't actually take control right now. I want... Oh, that's annoying. I've given the set pieces to the assistant manager, Danny Lindsay, because there were more or less... you know, if I'm role-playing, I do want my assistant manager to have jobs to do, roles to fulfill. So I gave him the set pieces. But if he's got Tyrese Ruddock taking the set pieces, I kind of want Tyrese Ruddock getting on the end of them, you know, nodding them home rather than going current. Oh, out wide to Kovenka. Kovenka into the box. He shoots it low and it's a good save. It's a very good save, but it's been an absolutely brilliant start for us. The only problem, we have not put the ball in the back of the net just yet. Embleton towards Ruddock. Exactly what I was saying is that I wanted Ruddock trying to get on the end of these. He is jumping. He is competing. And of course, with our centre-backs, they both have a high jumping reach. They're at 12. And we do have players that have even higher jumping reach than that. That I will bring in, you know, as part of the rotation and stuff like that. But we've got goal threats is basically what I'm trying to say. We do have goal threats. Now, Flint, you've got to stick on your man here. They whip it towards... Okay, towards the box. Calthoba says, you know, we're not going to take any risks. Going to put that one into the, over the goal line for a corner. Now they whip it in and Warner jumps. Carlisle and Cutbush clears that one out. And we do survive pretty easily. Now look at that momentum. It is all green. It is London green all the way. Herbert jumps and Sinfield makes the save. Kaltober looked like he could have done a little bit more with that. But it's okay. It's okay. It's been a very, very good start for us. Now Curran, very close. Shoots it. It's in. What a debut for Curran. That's one way to start your career with the London Greens. What a goal. Didn't even go wall side. He went goalie side and into the back of the net. It's a cracking goal. It's next level stuff. Very happy. And that is, of course, 1-0, which is what we were waiting for. You know, we were waiting for that goal to go 1-0 up and kind of control things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in demand more, just to see if we can get a little bit more out of the lads just before halftime. The ball over the top, but Sinfield comes and claims it very nicely, very calmly as well there. Now, if he could just drop it and play it out, I would appreciate that. Well, there we go. Rolls it out instead. Very nice. Sinfield is actually not rated very highly by the assistant managers and the scouts and stuff like that. But his stats are exactly what I'm after in my goalkeeper. Very, very good stuff. So that's why he's got in the nod. And it'll be over Alan Jones. It'll be over Johansson, who obviously played a lot last season as well. So yeah, we've got rid of Killian Malandine, don't forget, who was another player. Curran with the long shot. Another player who just didn't have the determination or the teamwork stat that I wanted in my team. Oh, a booking for Kovenka right before the break. Let's take a look at the data. And look, yeah, look how deep they are. They are really being pushed back. We're doing all the damage here. We've got the work into the box idea on as well, which I very much like. Everything's going as I would like it so far. Into the dressing room. Dominating possession. 1-0 up on the board. Wow. 3 changes for Phoenix, all at half time. That's kind of crazy. We're going to have to watch and see what happens here. We are going to have to make some changes ourselves at some point. The team is going very, very well so far. Feeling good. Not any yellows on the conditioning at all. Flint towards the back post. Well dealt with. Out for a corner, and we will go again. Now again, I'm going to hit them with the demand more. Embleton to Lovett. Back to Embleton, who's going to try and work an angle. He does. And oh! Cutbush just could not find the back of the net. A really good jump at the back post, sending himself in. And they're going to whip it in, and Sinfield will gather easily. Very nice. Now, it doesn't look like they're going to let him drop it and go. He's going to have to kick long. Haris Ruddock will try and win it. He does actually win it, but there's no one running on. In fact, let me explain why there's no one running on. Because we've got one winger on attack and one winger on support, but the actual the actual kind of reality of the game is that I don't want them flying up too much. You know, I still want them as part of the team. In fact, I think it wouldn't be the worst idea to get Kavenka off for Howard, who's actually naturally put onto an attack. But I don't want that. I'm going to personalize his stats here. He can take more risks. Still pass it short. That's fine. And cut inside. I want him linking up play a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully those individual instructions do stick in the tactics screen. I don't know if they will, but basically as the season goes on, I'm going to create those individuals so that any time I bring a player on into more or less any position, they know what they're doing and the roles link up nicely. Herbert toward, no, that's an offside. Okay. Very nicely done. We're at 50 minutes now. We've had 10 shots. Now, of course, if you've been watching this series for a while, you will fully understand that we don't tend to create a lot of chances. That really does not happen. We don't create enough chances. Mwanda at the back post. How have you nodded that over? It was more or less the whole goal open. But today's game, dominating possession in the way we are. Look at that. 83 is actually a little bit next level. Kind of bonkers that. Oh my word, off the post. It's bouncing around. And there's a foul. Howard, no foul. Lovett shoots. It's well saved. Embleton chase after it. He will. He'll try and find the pass. Oh, Salami, is there a counter-attack on? Is there a counter-attack on? Maguire, no, there isn't. Okay. Well, I mean, that was some chances there for us. My word. But the second half continues. Kaltoba just gets it out. That's fine. All right. I'm going to go for another demand more here. See if we can get a little bit more. They're not happy with it. I just want a second goal, guys. I really do. Because one goal is just so dangerous. They only need to hit back on one counter-attack. And, you know, we're donezo. Pressured by the feedback off. Really need to be doing that. Okay, looking at the conditioning. Who is on the worst of the conditioning? It's actually Carlisle and then Kaltoba. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap Kaltoba for Brathwaite on that left-hand side. And that'll be the change we go with. Now, they've whipped that one in and it's gone in. And this is exactly what I mean, guys. You've had loads of shots. You've got to put them away. You've got to put them away. 1-1. We're going to proceed. I'm going to demand more. And we're going to move on to the attacking tactic. We've got so much possession. I want us moving forward a little bit more. That's a foul from Salami. That's a pretty bad foul, in fact. And we've got to try and get some goals now because we've dominated the game. If we don't win it, it's going to be a bit of a similar story to the last couple of seasons. And I do not want to start season 11 like that. Brathwaite inside to Carlisle. Very good. Goes long to Howard, who will get on the end of it and into Ruddock. And what a save from Grady. But we go again. Cutbush out wide. Flint, get it in. He goes back. That's fine. Keeping the ball is also fine. Flint back to Lovett again. And let's maybe move it to the left-hand side. Or just send it to Embleton. Oh, no, it's not Embleton. It's Howard on the right. Sorry. Embleton's on the left. Howard, lovely line. Get it in. He does. He looks for a low ball in. We will get the ball back again. Now, we've got to get a goal here. So the pressure is on. Flint at the back post. That's not a great ball in. I'm not going to lie. Not a great ball in from Ruddock. Not really finding anyone there. 20 minutes to go now. We need to keep working here. We need to keep working. That's to no one at the back post. And Brathwaite does well. Gets it out of danger. Taking no chances. Salami whips it long. Sinfield, for some reason, punches it? I don't know. That was a weird one. Well out current. But trying to get himself a space to cross. He does find it, but it's a low cross. And it's well picked up. Another free kick. Curran goes long. It's deflected. And of course, we only scored from a free kick. So we haven't actually scored from open play, which is a little bit frustrating considering, look at that bar of momentum. It's all green. Now the counter might be on. Okay, we forced them back. That's good. Go inside. Getting pressured nicely. Yeah, it's not easy to get through us. Look at that. I really like the fact that we're all kind of working together there. And then they end up going long. We win it back very nicely. Now Mwanda forward or back. That's fine. Just keep the ball. Good Brathwaite into Embleton. A dangerous player. Into Brathwaite inside. Mwanda's there. To Cutbush. Shoots it. Oh! Very good work. But I like that build-up. That build-up, very good. In fact, I like the defensive work before that build-up even more. Now, Embleton from a corner. Good ball in. We jump. Ruddock is there. Won't get to it. It comes out to Howard. Into Embleton. Shoot it, one of you. Someone shoot it. It'll go out for another corner. We've got to try and get a goal at the end of this game. Let's hit play. Embleton on the ball. One more change to be made. I'll probably make it real soon. But who will it be? I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see what happens from this highlight before I make a decision. Into Embleton. Good. Good. Howard towards Ruddock. Ruddock jumps. It's gone over. Okay. I think that might be the signal then. Ruddock missed his chance. We'll give it to Daniel Woods. Now, what does he prefer to play? He prefers to play as a poacher or a pressing forward. In fact, I can get behind the idea of him being a pressing forward. Oh, actually, look at this. These two. Does that change his... That changes familiarity at all? Okay, we'll make him an advanced forward. And that will be the last change we make in this game. With not long to go, you know, we've dominated the game. We've got to try and find the answer here. Again, we header it over. We really are a little bit weak at the headers. We don't work the goalie enough. Okay, they're going with more caution. Let's press up a little bit higher. Let's make it even more dangerous. I'm not sitting back and letting us have a 1-1 here. I kind of refuse to go for that. We've got to try and nick the ball here. Oh no, that's it. That's it. Wowzer. Wowzer. 75% possession. 18 shots, 6 on target, and still only a 1-1. That's rough. That is real rough. Now, of course, a draw is better than a loss. I'll have to accept that, but it does feel a bit like more of the same, you know? We need to win games. That's a draw. Need to win games. And you can see the press agree. Miss chance to win. It really was. Look at those greens. Look at that. It's all green. It was a missed chance to get a win in that game. Now, they were going with a counter-attack because they had to. We were going with a control possession style. And of course, we ended up scoring through Adam Curran. A great goal. But the draw is, you know, not quite what we're after. Not quite what we're after. And well, look at that. 5 debutants. So you can also kind of look at the tactic and kind of look at the familiarity and see it's not all the way up. There's still a bit of learning to do there. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. A 4-1 win for Long Lane sees them go top of the pile. Good stuff for them. Now, any surprises? Larkspur losing. That's a surprise. My word. Hamden got the win. Peckham got the win. Elmstead, yeah, no other surprises really. Record attendance, very nice. Look at that. The club is growing. We should be disappointed. We only have a draw for it. Yes, we probably should. The under-18s are going well. They got a win. They're looking pretty good in their division, which is National Under-18s Southeast. They've started really well. Look at that. 3 games. And so far, no losses, 2 wins and 1 draw. And you can see that puts them in 3rd in the division. Not bad at all. Chasing down Maidstone United and Hornchurch Under-18s. So, Under-18s looking pretty good. Roberts snubs Hempnall. Good. Josh Roberts decides to stick around. He's in the Under-18s. I don't really want to be losing players if I don't need to. So that's good stuff. Of course, as the season goes on, you can be certain we are going to lose players, but that is neither here nor there. Now, one thing I do want to have a look at is the selection screen. I want to have a look at the selection info screen. There we go. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. So the fatigue, I'm really curious to see what this is going to show, if at all, or, when it does. Because last season, I think we got hit by some fatigue, and that's something we've got to kind of work on. Making sure we don't struggle with that again. Look at that. Aris Ruddock. Because he went off, his numbers are actually a little bit higher. So that's interesting. Best rating of the day was Adam Curran for that goal. Everyone else kind of 6.5 or thereabouts. John Howard actually came on and played very well on the right-hand side. So that's something we're going to have to remember. John Howard played quite well on the right-hand side. We need to bring him in for Kavenka. We can always do that. Anyway, that is going to be it for episode 1, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We only played the 1 game, like I said. Lots of chatting, lots of kind of between-season news and whatnot. There's a long way to go this season. We're going to try and get promoted. Of course we are. We're going to take it 1 game at a time for the most part. Thank you for watching. I shall catch you next time.